signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome, everyone, to Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Hurricanes. As we'll see, the number 12 team in the country, the South Carolina Gamecocks, taking on the 13th ranked team in the land, the Miami Hurricanes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by a couple of legends, and yes, we do use that term loosely. David Pollack from the University of Georgia and former Gator Jesse Palmer. Guys, let's get down to the field. The Hurricanes will kick it away first. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return.
Let's go. Break. Single.
From the gun, running back gets to give. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. He'll do it himself. There he goes! Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down.
And I love that decision by this quarterback. No monkeying around, man. Get to the spot. Get the first down, lower your shoulder. I don't need a big play. I just want another set of downs. Nice job running the option, knowing where the first down marker is.
Back to throw, it's Sellers. Under fire. Got room to work. He's loose. They'll get him down, but not before he crosses the 50. He's down to the 49.
Man-to-man coverage is a great opportunity for scrambling quarterbacks to take off and run because everybody on defense who's covering has their backs turned to the quarterback, obviously, because they're chasing an intended receiver or target. So good job that time by the quarterback knowing I've got man coverage. If it's not open, I can take off and go make something positive happen.
You know, we joke that the tight end's always open, David, but play action almost makes it impossible to keep them covered.
And yeah, because those guys, they're such good blockers most of the time. They're big and physical, and they cell block for a second, and then they run open and they find holes in zones, and they get good matchups. And man, those tight ends nowadays are nightmares for defenses to try to stop.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Quick release by the QB. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver. You're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
Off the RPO, fire right, trying to convert. They've got enough for the first down, and they're in the red zone at the 20.
Love the decision-making by the quarterback there on the RPO play. Defense took everything away deep down the field, so just check it down, get it to your guy in the right flat, and let him go get yards.
And the Gamecocks back to the line on first down. Let's see if they keep leaning on this running game. They'll run the option. This defensive front just ran free in the backfield. He'll lose 3.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Got some work to do on 2nd down after that last one. They need 13. Back to pass, it's Sellers. Quarterback adapting. Unleashes one deep. Reels it in the end zone. Touchdown, Gamecocks!
Well, you know this offensive coordinator scripts his opening 10, 15 plays, and he didn't even need that. They went 9 plays and scored a touchdown. Everything working perfectly. They looked like a well-oiled machine early in this game offensively.
And he made the extra point without problem.
South Carolina, 7. Miami, 0.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. He'll call for the fair catch here. Looking for a crease, it's Fletcher. Forges ahead, picks up about 3 to the 29. And the Canes want to pick up the tempo.
And that wasn't a big game, but look at the offense. Right back on the ball, ready to call a play, ready to go fast.
Right back to him on the ground. Makes it past the marker. Out across the 30 to the 39 after getting 10 on that one. From the 39-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Just moving those chains the way Frank Gore did back in the day.
Frank Gore, Willis McGahee, Edgerrin James, so many elite backs in Miami history. Finding that guy that you can give the ball to that's reliable, important part of the Canes tradition.
And there you see the bind that the RPO play can put a defender in. That linebacker had to make a decision. Was the running back going to get the ball? He thought so, so he bit up, and that allowed the slant to be thrown in behind him.
The Canes with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Give to the back. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
Yeah, they're just going to need more push up front. There was nowhere for that running back to go. The offensive line got moved right back into his lap, and as a result, they lose yards on that play.
3rd and short from the 44, and we might know if they plan to go for it on 4th down by what they call here. The toss to the outside. Got enough for the 1st down and wants more. He's run out of bounds at the 23 after the big gainer.
Really nice resiliency by the running back. Sometimes you just got to be able to turn the page, right? You have a tackle for loss the previous play, they give it right back to you, and you make the defense pay. Good vision, good athleticism picking up that first. Why not give it to him again?
And the Canes are on the move. Off the play fake on 1st down. Throws toward the end zone. Touchdown, Canes! Snagged in the end zone to give them 6.
I don't know what play they called, but I would call it again because the defense had no idea what was going on. Receiver comes wide open, catches the football, and gets the easy touchdown.
Setting up for the extra point and the top. And the extra point was good as they finished the drive. So that was a 6-play, 75-yard drive. And they finish it off with a touchdown toss from the 23. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Fires it down the seam. Fires the pass. Intercepted. He's knocked down, but what a play to come up with the interception.
Man, that is how you get it done as a defense when you're playing cover 1. Like, you got the middle of the field safety, but everybody else is manning up Nice job running with this guy, seeing the football, breaking on it, making the interception, making the big play for this defense.
Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. They evened things up the last time they had it, and the defense helped them out and a chance to go on top with this drive. What a job up front, and he'll lose a yard on that one.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. Out of the gun, the inside handoff to the running back. And he does a really nice job finding open space and making a good gain before the stop is made.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called.
Timeout, Miami.
And the Hurricanes line up, trying to move the sticks on 3rd and short. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. He's not going to make it. What a job by this defense to stop him in his tracks.
Awesome job up front by this defensive line, being so good at the point of attack and eating blocks, eating some double teams that allows these linebackers to run free, unencumbered, and get to the football.
So they're not comfortable with their field goal kicker from here, so the offense will go for it on 4th down. Motion from the wide receiver. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Maybe a tad out of field goal range and way too close to punt it. Kind of in no man's land, so they'll go for it on 4th down. Trying to keep this drive alive. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down.
Gotta love the physicality on 4th down and short. You know what's coming. They hand the football off to the running back. No secret, but he plays physical, gets behind his pads, and gets the 1st down.
The Hurricanes with the 1st and 10. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. Just what this offense was looking for. Sets them up at the 26 with the 1st down.
1st down, physicality wins football games. Being able to run the football and create balance. And right here, just choose up another 1st down. Gives you another chance to maybe continue to run the football.
And I feel like this guy, too, is just an explosive play waiting to happen. His vision, his quickness, and he's got a burst. If you give this guy just a crease, he's going to hit it. And right now, he's doing some damage on this defense.
Coming out on 1st down with the play fake. He'll take a shot. And it falls in complete. But it could have been much, much worse as the defender was right there.
And that is a huge missed opportunity for the quarterback. You've got your guy wide open in the end zone. You're not under pressure. You just got to hit him. That ball got away. That's one he'd like to have back.
Maybe a 3-yard pickup there, 3rd and long coming up. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line.
Let's go! That's the end of the first quarter, with the score tied at 7.
This offense had a little extra time to think about it. Let's see what they have on 3rd down. The give to the back. That'll be enough for a 1st down, and they've got it up the 16-yard line.
It's a really nice job of the offense mixing it up on this drive. We've seen some nice plays throwing it, and how about that one running it too? Great push up front.
And the Canes kept this drive moving on the ground. Now back to work. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there.
Number 14 brings up 2nd down.
Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. They'll send the tight end in motion. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Hurricane!
This running back was not going to be denied. Nice blocking up front to create a hole for this running back, and he was able to take advantage.
And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. So a drive that started just beyond midfield, only 49 yards, and they finished it off with a 14-yard run for the score. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. A quick pass to the left. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Now, I know that completion isn't a touchdown. It's not a deep play deep down the field, but how about the strong hands by that receiver making that catch? He made that look pretty routine. He had that DB draped all over him and still was able to help this offense get positive yards.
Catch in the middle. It's Smith. At the 40, there he goes. He flips his field in an instant, and he's got him set up at the 20.
Man, you could almost feel the quarterback's eyes getting big on that completion. I don't think even he could believe how wide open his target was. He knew, man, if I just get this to him accurately, something really good is going to happen. That's exactly what transpired. Nice throw, nice catch, nice play.
Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. Off the play fake on 1st down to throw. Firing to the right, complete. He stopped just short of the goal line at the 1. An explosive play has him set up.
Man, this quarterback's been in a nice rhythm all drive, hasn't he? He's just playing on time. He's making good decisions. He's now got the offense at 1st and goal. I'd let him throw it down here. He is...
Sneak gets it done.
The defense knew coming into this game they were going to have their hands full. Not only did they have to worry about these running backs in their running game, they had to worry about the quarterback as well. On designed runs and on scrambles, they didn't have an answer for him right there.
And they had the extra point to finish the drive. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And it was finished off with a quarterback sneak. Fair catch, called for and made. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Wide receiver going in motion. Dropping back, it's back. Oh, he's going to try to hit him over the top. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, they were trying to sneak him out of the backfield that time into the passing game, but that did not fool anybody on defense. What a hit, forcing that incompletion.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. From the gun, the running back has it. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28. Let's see what call they have on 3rd and long from the 28. And fired complete. Into enemy territory and out of bounds at the 41 after the good gain there.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. The Canes just got that huge run. They'd love another explosive play. Keeps it on the draw. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Linebackers shuffling around, trying to keep the quarterback from getting a read. Off play action. Fires to the wideout. Just flying through the air like a superhero to make the grab.
Nice job ruining that catch. And listen, when you say Miami Hurricane football, to me, I think about burners at the receiver position. Michael Irvin, Andre Johnson, Santana Moss, Reggie Wayne, who I played with in the Senior Bowl. These guys could not be covered one-on-one. And this dude here in this offense today, he causes the same kind of problems. Really, really good route runner. He always seems to get open.
Wide receiver comes in motion. Out of the gun to give to the back. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Defense is about seeing it and pulling the trigger, and you could tell they pull the trigger so fast, get to the back, get him on the ground quickly.
Got some work to do after that last play, 2nd and 13. Scanning the field, it's back. Works working that left side now. Caught, and he's close to a first down on the nice pickup there. And the Canes come to the line in the hurry-up. They'll run it from the gun. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Man, that's a really good job by the defense, because when you get in that third and medium area, listen, you got to be worried about the run and the pass. Did a good job playing both, got it stopped, now forcing a fourth down.
Oh, and he missed it. No good. After that failed field goal attempt, fellas, still tie ball game. Lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays, but sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well, but if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
Went to the running game on first down. Now here they come again. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Picks up the first down, still moving. That'll be enough for a fresh set of downs. He gets it to the 32.
And this is an offense that really relies on its running game on that second down call, giving it to the back, letting him find a way to go get a first.
With a first down, they'll snap it from the 32. To the ground, he's got it again. And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain. Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and a great job by the defense, holding the line of scrimmage, playing downhill, playing responsibility football, making sure they shut down that option.
They're facing a third down. To the air, it's Sellers. Under pressure, and down he goes at the 33. The defense calls the timeout, their second of the day as they try to get their act together. The Gamecocks will punt this one away. This will be their first punt of the afternoon. They boot it away on fourth down. And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. This drive will open from the 15. Use the play fake, now to throw. And the quarterback goes down at the 11-yard line.
Play action pass success has a lot to do with selling that fake. You could tell defense was not buying it, got in the backfield, got the big play.
And the Hurricanes have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Gonna run it. It's Lyle. And after that short game, they'll head to the locker room. It's halftime here. And that'll bring us to the end of the first half as we head to the studio for halftime. And the Gamecocks will line up to kick off and start the second half. Fielded in the end zone. It's Marion. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped. When he brought it out of the end zone, he'll be stopped at the 15. I guess a lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. Trying to set the tone on the ground in the third. Oh, he's got some space. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped, and it'll be first down.
What a phenomenal job in the open field, breaking off the long run, and they're not going to just take their time and huddle up to get the next play called. They're right back at the line of scrimmage, going tempo.
Out of space. Wide open spaces. The 20. Past the 10. Touchdown, Miami. And with that one, they jump on top here in the second half.
I love the execution on that play. Great blocking up front just to get the ball carrier an opportunity in the second level of the defense. And then at that point, it was make a guy miss and use the speed. That was a perfectly executed play.
They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Leaves it with the back. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down, and they got to keep that up here in the second half.
Right back to the well. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Nice job by the defense just being very sound, understanding what they were seeing, and going again. A lot of times these running backs force missed tackles and make you miss and make big plays. This defense did a good job of not letting that happen.
Ball's at the 27. His offense facing a 3rd and long. Off the bootleg, wants to toss it. Picked off. What a play to set him up. Didn't get much on the return, but what a huge play, and they are in business at the 24.
And Talk about being an impact player for his defense. That's now his second interception in this game. Time and time again, when they've thrown his direction, he's come up with a big play. And in a tight game like this, those 2 interceptions, that is massive for this defense.
And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. They go to the ground. There he goes! And that stiff arm is a weapon for this runner. He uses it and picks up a first down.
And they say a quarterback's best friend is a good run game and a good running back. I think he agrees. Over 150 yards on the day. I don't even think I need a quarterback the way he's been running the football all game long.
On first down from the 13-yard line.
42 Spider. 4-2 Spider.
Toss to the left. He's brought down at the 7-yard line, and they are threatening to take it in.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Defense showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. Quarterback needs to make a better throw there. Incomplete. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a 1st and goal. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
That's how you come up and make plays as a defense, man. Playing physical, playing downhill. They've given up some plays today, man. He's got over 100 yards on the day. He's really had some success. But on that play, really downhill, really physical, and a nice job getting him to the ground.
On 4th down, they'll pass for it. Finds him out of the backfield. Touchdown, Kane! All that baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score. When you're handed a break with unbelievable field position like that, you better finish the deal, and they did.
You saw the quarterback jog on the field. I think he gave a high five to every one of those players coming off that just put them in position to go score that touchdown. That QB knew this was a golden opportunity, and boy, he took advantage of it.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And he added the extra point. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish things off with an 8-yard toss for the score. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Off-play action on 1st down. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's a really good job by this defense. A complete defensive effort. When the back end makes the quarterback hold the football a little longer than he wants to, and then the pass rush gets home, hits him, and forces the incompletion.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. To the ground with the back. Finds that crease, and he's got 4 after the 29. Third down, and this offense is already in a world of trouble. They could really use a conversion, not to mention multiple scores. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Just a short pass to the tight end. Love to see these third down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line. They flexed out that tight end a little bit, and you know the tight end's always open.
Always open, quarterback's best friend. And this guy's a problem, Reese. He's a matchup problem because he's too big for DBs to cover, and he's too fast for linebackers to cover. He's showing you his athleticism there.
Just gets rid of the football, nobody to throw it to. It'll be second down.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there, I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
They'll toss it to the outside on the left. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Another tough run for this offense, and I think a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now is they just haven't been able to get this guy going. They've tried to give him the ball a lot. It just hasn't paid off, but you get the feeling, too, if they are going to crawl back in this one, they need him to break one off, and it just takes one play for this guy. Don't be impatient. You got to keep giving him the football.
Now facing a third and long. Floating away. Unloads to the wideout. Makes the grab. All kinds of room to the right. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, South Carolina.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. He'll call for the fair catch here. Put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They'll leave it with him. Knocked down in the backfield, and boy, this guy's had a good day, but they finally get to him on that run.
Well, this guy's been an animal all game long. He's had tons of success running the football. The defense had to do something to stop him. Give the D-line and that front 7 tons of credit for being really physical there, getting the TFL.
Throws to the wideout. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch.
Man, I love the catch radius on this guy. If you just put it somewhere near his body, he's going to be able to reel it in. That was a phenomenal job, showing you his athleticism and also his concentration, making that outstanding grab.
And he doesn't find much running room, a short gain on the play.
He's tackled at the 13-yard line.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. Looking downfield, it's back. Flips it out to the back. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. Well, he made the grab, but the doors closed quickly after that.
And I like this. I want to find my running back, but man, he's got to do a little more damage after the catch. I need a stiff arm. I need a spin move. I need something where he can make that guy miss and pick up a bunch of yards and maybe get a big play out of it.
The play action fake. fires to the wideout. And it's incomplete on third down.
This game just feels so different than it did in the first half. After that incompletion, now setting up fourth down, they only have a one-possession lead. Things were looking so much better earlier in the game.
They snapped it to the up man. He's on the run. It's a seam wide open. And the gamble works in their favor this time as they pick up the first down.
They had the exact look they had practiced for and what they wanted. The up man gets the snap directly. He's able to use the speed, get the first down, and the chains are moving.
The Hurricanes look to keep this drive humming.
Green 25.
He leaves it with his back. Oh, he's getting ahead of steam. Brought down just outside the red zone. He moves the chains. It's at the 22. They go back to work in the final period of this one.
Spire.
They'll give it to him again. Ernie on the Jets. Talk about a timely run. Gets the first down. Clock keeps moving as they try to finish the deal.
And, man, this is exactly how this offensive coordinator wants to end this football game. Ground and pound, let that clock tick, add to this lead, and make the defense stop you.
And the Canes pounded the rock to move the sticks. Now back to work.
Get set. Get set.
Caught in the backfield, it's Fletcher. That completion takes them down to the 7-yard line, and they are ready to strike. The Canes racing to the line in the hurry-up. Give to the running back. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line.
And, you know, when we talk about great third down defenses, it really starts with them getting stops on first and second down. You've got to get those stops early in the drives to set up third and long, so that's a missed opportunity on that second down by this defense.
The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half.
Timeout, Miami.
The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. Third down, they can pick up the first without scoring. Trying to pick it up on the ground. They make the tackle just outside the end zone, but it'll be first and goal from the 1.
Well, this guy hasn't quite put up Heisman numbers in this game, but in a moment where they need him the most, in the fourth quarter, look how strong he is running. Breaking tackles, he's been smart, he still has the ability to cut. He looks like he could play another 4 quarters.
With the run on first and goal. Just hammer it with this running back again, and he noses his way into the end zone.
And that is a drive and a score they absolutely had to have. Now making it a two-possession game late in this one. It wasn't going to be enough to just play it safe, play it conservative, punt the ball away, and count on your defense. They were aggressive. They mixed it up, but getting that score, that is huge for their win probability now.
And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the fourth. They're set to kick it off. Do you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Sends it downfield. And that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
I understand the sense of urgency for the offense now because you're trailing here by a lot in the fourth quarter. You're just trying to take a shot to see if you can get on the board and get some of this momentum back. But the problem is the defense understands that, so they're playing coverage, and they're doing a good job on the back end. Nice job forcing the incompletion.
And he goes out of bounds after a nice pickup on that one.
Well, the offense trying to attack the perimeter of the field in the passing game. And how about the sweet feet by the receiver on that play?
Who doesn't like a little dash of the arts with their football? A little ballet moment there. The Gamecocks are at the line looking to convert on third and short. Looking downfield, it's Sellers. Now improvising. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
And this is why coaches get paid the big bucks. Tough decision on your own side of the field. Fourth quarter, I'm trailing. Is it go time now, or do I trust my defense?
Down by multiple possessions. They can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on fourth down. Using his legs to buy some time. Crosses the 45. Turning it on. They finally make the stop, and he shows why he is dangerous on the run, too, and he's got a first down.
Well, I think you're starting to see some examples of why this guy is inexperienced in a freshman quarterback, right? Obviously, he's thrown a couple picks earlier in the game. That scramble right there, he's got to get down. He's got to take care of himself and slide. Great job, nice athleticism, good decision to take off scrambling and help his offense, but you really are seeing his inexperience shine through here in this game.
And the Gamecocks have it with a 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Looking for a huge play. Touchdown, Gamecocks. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board.
And it's now the second time this wide receiver has scored. Another outstanding job with the route. Great job securing the catch.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. They tack on the extra point, and they're down a touchdown, 35-28. They put together a 5-play, 75-yard drive. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. Fair catch called for and made. This one in play, first snap of the drive from the 25. Wants to throw on first down off the play fake. Fires to the tight end. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Really nice job by the defense getting that last stop. All third downs in games are important, but this one just feels like it's the biggest down of this game right now for this defense. If they can get off the field, they've got to give it back to their offense with as much time as possible to have a chance to win this game.
Looking to throw, it's back. Oh, they're after him. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down. And the Canes will bring the punt team onto the field. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one.
Returner goes out of bounds.
They'd love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. Wants to throw on first down. Fires on the move. Good hands in there by the defense to force the incompletion.
And those corner routes, those quarterbacks need to throw the ball with some air and put it towards the sideline, away from the defender. You can tell a little bit maybe underthrown. The defender doing a good job sticking with the play, getting his hand on the football, and getting the deflection.
So now it's second and long. Looking to fire. Quarterback moving. Zings it complete to the right. Defense scoops it up, and he's headed the other way. They knock him down finally, but touchdown Hurricane! And they turn it into a defensive score.
These moments as a defense, but you never know when they're going to come to fruition. But how about it? The scoop, the ball's on the turf. They scoop it up. They take it to the house. The defense takes care of business. As an offense, we don't need you. We'll put points on the board.
Might have to give that coach a flag and a whistle. He was right on in his view of the play, and the officials agree and overturn the call. The Gamecocks are at the line looking to convert on third and short. On third and short, they'll try to pick it up on the ground here. And he'll move his way forward to the first down. They'll mark it at the 35.
Great job by the offense, understanding where the sticks are. And look, they got the first down, and they're like, all right, let's crank this tempo up now. We got first down. Let's go fast.
Back to throw, it's Sellers. And the defense forced that incompletion with the deflection.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window, and the intended target was not open. And that's why that one fell incomplete.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. Now the play fake. Outside the pocket, lets it go. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
This is the type of play that could be a pivotal moment. Tight game, third and long coming. Off the RPO, quick throw to the right. He stopped right there, short of the first down, and this defense trying to preserve the lead.
And listen, that's not a surprise. Obviously, they want to throw the football on third down and try to get a first down, but it got absolutely nowhere. Great job by the defense, rallying up and actually getting a tackle for a loss.
Trailing by a possession, they need to keep the ball. They'll try to convert on fourth down. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and time is of the essence for this offense to get things done. And here we go, down a score. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll go up top, maybe a deciding play here. Oh, he dropped it, just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. They thought they had a good plan, but it did not work. This offense has it with really good field position. They'll run the ball. The clock is on their side. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 6. Everybody and their brother showing blitz. And it's intercepted. A huge 4th quarter play for this defense. Not much of a chance on the return, but they'll have the ball at the 33.
What a great call on defense. Perfect coverage for what the offense had dialed up. They're able to get the pick, and now they set their offense up with an opportunity to drive the field and at least tie this one up.
To the air, it's Sellers. Flushed out of the pocket. Fires downfield. How about getting the foot down on that throw for the big completion?
And they've trusted their QB to throw the football. And he's going to have to make plays. He's made plays throughout the day. This is now when you come up clutch in a big moment when your team needs it. If that's any indication, I like what I'm seeing.
See if they can turn this drive into points. They've got it 1st and 10 at the 50. Use the play fake, now to throw. Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance.
This really has been a masterclass by the quarterback with decision-making, right? We've already seen him throw multiple touchdown passes in the game. He's understood when to take his shots and when to throw it away when things aren't there, like on that last play.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. After the incompletion, they go back up top. Slings it downfield. It's caught. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37.
And they've trusted him to throw the football all game. And I expect nothing to change whatsoever. They're going to put it on his back, or his arm, I guess you could say, and let him throw this team to victory. It's a close game, tight game. I'm rolling with my best player.
He breaks the tackle. He is brought down, but man, what a job to find some running room and move the chains. He'll spike the ball to try to save every precious second he can.
2nd down.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Looking for a man. It's Sellers. Skips away from pressure. Got his man on the right. Tremendous awareness to get what he could and get out of bounds. And now the offense trying to score one late.
Where's the defense on that last play? It's a 2-minute situation. You've got the guy making the catch in the middle of the field. You've got to tackle him in bounds and keep this clock moving. Somehow they were able to let him get outside and stop the clock. That just can't happen.
Most important part of a clutch drive, piece together some first downs, get in position, and here they are on 1st and 10. On the move. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown Gamecocks! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Man, great execution. That is how it's done late in the football game. Now, all you need is that extra point. Bring the kicker out there. This is what you do. Just like practice, knock it through the uprights, tie this football game, and we might be looking at overtime soon.
No backs with the quarterback as they line up for the 2.
Here we go.
Looks as if he's going to run it. He will not get there. Stopped on the 2-point conversion try, and they still trail by 1 here in the 4th. Just over 50 seconds to go. They're trying to pull off a comeback, and they'll need to get this onside kick to do it. Not much drives more anxiety than waiting to see if the hands team can corral the onside kick, and they do. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. So with the late lead, they're ready to just drain the clock in victory formation. And the quarterback takes a knee. Not all close games are created equal, but this one, man, what a ride. A matchup between a couple of ranked teams, and certainly it was a memorable one.
No doubt about it. I think there were a lot of eyeballs watching this game, not just fans of these two teams, but people maybe outside of conference affiliation looking in because this is a ranked matchup. So when you get this win, this is huge in the eyes of the committee with respect to the college football playoff. This win just means more.
I was thinking the exact same thing. Like, for the college football playoff picture, how big is it to get a big win, a ranked win, who now you're probably going to be matched up head-to-head with who's better, who's going to make the playoff. Big feather in the cap, big day for them.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.